Hello there. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about mantras and mantra chanting. So, what is a mantra? A mantra is a word or a phrase that you repeat over and over, typically in chanting. Sometimes people sing it in a more sort of traditional way for whichever part of the world they come from, and you can do it by yourself or in a group. But chanting has been used for a very long time by a lot of different traditions, and typically it's in whatever the holy language of those people is. So I'm most familiar with Sanskrit chanting because I really like the Hindu tradition, and for some reason I like Sanskrit. And also because I'm interested in yoga and do a lot of yoga, then you get Sanskrit words coming in yoga. Often teachers will chant Om at the beginning or end of the class. So for me, that's the language that I've become most familiar with. However, I also did some Sufi chanting, which is part of the tradition of Islam, and that was also amazing, and that was in Arabic. So why would you want to chant? Well, this kind of ties in with this concept that everything is vibration. Everything in reality is vibrating. You know, the atoms, the molecules, everything is vibrating, and we are all interacting on a vibrationary level, which means that sound is actually very, very important and probably has a much bigger impact on us and our realities and how we feel than most people realize. So that also means that music has a huge impact on us, as I think a lot of people know. But even the words that we say, the way that we say them, and the emotions that we put into words can actually have a big impact on our state of being, our well-being. So with Sanskrit chanting, you can chant simply Om, which is probably the most well-known, which is seen as the sound of the universe. And it feels really sort of cleansing, and you can do it as a meditative practice, so that you can take this time to sit and be quiet, but instead of just being in stillness, you can choose to chant. So you could chant Om, but there are many other typical mantras, and in Sanskrit, one that I have been working with a lot is Om Namah Shivaya. So you've got Om at the beginning and then Namah Shivaya, and this is a tribute to Lord Shiva, the destroyer. So in the Hindu tradition, you have the three sort of main aspects of God or create or creation, and Shiva is the one that destroys things. So one of the main sort of aspects, you have the creator, you have the sustainer, and you have the destroyer. So they're all equally as valid and important as each other. But with Shiva, there's this thing of letting go. So it's not necessarily destruction in a negative way. It's not really. It's, you know, the natural process of life and death, but also within ourselves we need to let go of a lot of things that don't serve us anymore. So I like this one and this concept of letting go. And I have an app on my phone, which is quite handy, and I will put a link to it, or with all the name. If you want to try, you can choose the length of time you do it for. There are lots of different mantras from different traditions, mostly in Sanskrit though, and it explains what they mean. You can choose how long you want to do it for, or if you want to go between them, and you can chant along, or you can simply listen to it. So you can also go on the internet and find on YouTube or wherever you can find mantras that you can listen to if you're feeling stressed. They're quite good just to have in the background whilst you do other things. And I think the mantra chanting for me was a really big discovery, and I found it first through joining a group. So it's really, really powerful in a group. The more people you have involved, the more powerful the mantra is, and the feeling of it. So I recommend doing that as well if you can. And after my first experience with it, I was just amazed. Yeah, it can take you into different states of consciousness. It can bring deep relaxation. It can do many different things, but also don't expect it to do anything. It is just a practice in itself, and you have to just go into it with an open mind and no expectations. Just like meditation, just like anything really. You go, okay, well, I want to try this. I'm going to see if I like it. If you like it, do more of it. If not, then find something else. But for me, I found mantra chanting to be very, very interesting. So I recommend that you try it out one time, whether it's just Om chanting or whether you find another mantra that you like. Or even if you do it in your own language, you could choose, like an affirmation. You could choose a positive phrase that you want to bring into your life, like, I am abundant, and you could chant it as a mantra. So find some mantra, chant it, and I hope you enjoy it.